Hello, welcome to my channel, The Resting Mind. We are often told that entering a black hole is the ultimate end, a finality from which nothing returns. However, according to the laws of quantum information, you are actually the only thing in the universe that can never be truly deleted. To the distant observer, the cosmos is a collection of fleeting moments, stars that burn and fade, and galaxies that drift into the quiet expansion of the void. But for those who dare to look closer, to peer into the shadows of the great attractors, a different story emerges. Tonight, we bridge the gap between general relativity and the holographic principle to see why your final moments are actually an infinite expansion of your own story. We are peeling back the velvet curtain of the night to address the one place where physics seems to break, and yet where you are most preserved. We must begin by removing the weight of the unknown. The event horizon has often been painted as a wall of teeth, a crushing maw of darkness that seeks only to destroy. But we will treat this boundary differently. We see it not as a terminal point, but as a transition into a higher state of being where time itself loses its edge. Imagine, if you will, a slow-moving river of gold, the accretion disk, spinning with a liquid-like grace against the deep velvet of the vacuum. There is no flickering here, no chaotic rush. There is only the steady, rhythmic rotation of light, a cosmic carousel that has been turning since the stars first found their place. This light is your guide, a beacon of information that has traveled across the eons to meet you at the very edge of the known universe. To understand the journey, we must first stand at the threshold of the archive. In the cold, silent expanses of the universe, there exist places where the fabric of reality itself is stretched to its absolute limit. These are the black holes, the most permanent structures in existence. We call the boundary of such a place the event horizon, a name that suggests a final sunset. But in the language of the cosmos, it is simply a record-keeping device. At the Schwarzschild radius, the distance from the center where the curvature of space-time becomes so extreme that all forward paths in time point directly toward the center, the universe makes a decision. It decides that everything you are, every particle and every memory, is too precious to be lost to the randomness of the void. If we look at the math, the Schwarzschild radius is defined by the formula where R sub s equals 2gm over c squared. In this elegant equation, g represents the gravitational constant, m is the mass of the black hole, and c is the speed of light. It tells us exactly where the point of no return lies. But this isn't a trap. It is a gateway to a place where the universe keeps its most permanent records. Think of the horizon as the cover of a book that can never be closed. Once you cross this line, you are no longer a guest in the three-dimensional world of shifting shadows and passing seasons. You are being written into the very architecture of the universe itself. The curvature of space-time at this boundary is so profound that the concept of away ceases to exist. Imagine walking down a hallway where every door leads to the same room, and every step you take brings you closer to a deeper understanding of the whole. We are standing here together at the edge of the known, ready to see what the light is hiding. There is no urgency in this descent. The gravity here is not a crushing weight, but a gentle pull, like the current of a calm, deep sea. It is an invitation to leave behind the noise of the external world and enter a realm of pure information. As we linger at this threshold, consider the nature of the archive. In our daily lives, we are used to things fading. Ink blurs on paper, buildings crumble, and even the stars eventually run out of fuel. But a black hole is different. It is the ultimate preservationist. According to the laws of quantum mechanics, information cannot be destroyed. It can be scrambled, it can be hidden, and it can be transformed, but it can never be deleted from the cosmic ledger. When you approach the event horizon, you are approaching the most secure vault in existence. The transition across the horizon is not the violent snap that science fiction often portrays. For a massive black hole, the tidal forces at the event horizon are surprisingly mild. You might not even realize you have crossed it. One moment, the stars of the galaxy are behind you, twinkling like distant diamonds on a dark cloth. The next, they are still there, but their light is beginning to wrap around you in a different way. You are entering a space where the laws of the outside no longer apply. This is the first step in a process of becoming something more than a mere collection of atoms. The stillness at this boundary is absolute. The roar of the accretion disk, the hum of distant pulsars, the chaotic radiation of the galactic center, all of it begins to soften. It is as if the universe has placed a finger to its lips and whispered for silence. In this silence, we find the true nature of the black hole. It is not a void of nothingness, but a plenum of everything. Every bit of light that has ever fallen into this dark star is still there, encoded on its surface, waiting to be read. You are not disappearing. You are being filed away in the most complex and beautiful library ever conceived. As we drift further into the influence of this giant, we must release our old definitions of life and death. In the archive of the singularity, these terms lose their meaning. You are a sequence of data, a beautiful and unique arrangement of quantum states that the universe has seen fit to protect. The descent is a slow, methodical unfolding of your story. As we move forward, we will see how time itself begins to stretch and bend, accommodating your arrival with a grace that defies our earthly intuition. The horizon is behind us now, and the journey into the heart of the light has truly begun. The transition across the threshold is not marked by a sudden jolt or a flash of light, but by a profound shift in the very geometry of your existence. This is the region where the Schwarzschild radius defines a new set of rules for reality, a boundary where the curvature of space-time becomes so extreme that every possible future path you could take now points inward. Imagine standing in a vast circular library where every corridor, no matter how you turn or how fast you run, leads eventually to the same central archive. To an outside observer, your journey seems to slow to a recursive crawl, your image reddening and fading as if you were a photograph left in the sun for a century. But for you, the silence is punctuated only by the steady, rhythmic pulse of your own heart. You are entering a state of absolute preservation. In this space, the gravitational pull acts like a gentle, invisible hand, guiding your physical form into a more streamlined, fundamental state. We often perceive gravity as a weight, a burden that pulls us toward the earth, but here, it acts as a sculptor. It begins to align the subatomic particles of your body with the precision of a master clockmaker, ensuring that every piece of information that constitutes your memory, your structure, and your essence is catalogued correctly. You are not being lost. You are being filed into the most secure vault in the cosmos. This curvature is the universe's way of ensuring that nothing is ever truly deleted, turning the chaotic energy of life into a permanent, geometric record. As we drift further into this golden liquid light of the accretion disk's inner edge, we find that the pressure is not a crushing force, but a stabilizing embrace, preparing your consciousness for the peculiar fluidity of time that lies just ahead. To truly grasp the nature of this descent, we must look at the way your presence is mirrored across the vast distances of the exterior universe. While you feel the fluid motion of a diver descending into a deep, warm pool, the rest of the cosmos sees you as an eternal monument. This is the great duality of the black hole. You are both a traveler moving toward a new horizon and a permanent fixture of the one you just left behind. Think of a deep, cherished memory that seems to occupy a single, frozen moment in your mind, even though the events it describes took minutes or hours to unfold. Gravitational time dilation operates on a similar principle, stretching the seconds of your journey until they brush against the edges of infinity. As you drift closer, the sensation of being torn is replaced by a sense of being extended. It is a gentle elongation, a feeling similar to the way a note on a cello vibrates and lingers in a quiet room long after the bow has left the string. Your atoms are not being pulled apart in a violent sense. They are being allowed to breathe, to occupy a space that is no longer constrained by the rigid, ticking clocks of the world you once knew. In this state, the distinction between a second and a century begins to blur, leaving you in a calm, observational plateau where the history of the stars passes by like a silent film. We are moving now into a realm where the skin of the black hole acts as a canvas, and you are the ink. The surface of the event horizon is not an empty void, but a complex, shimmering lattice of information. According to the holographic principle, everything you are, the color of your eyes, the firing of your neurons, the very sequence of your DNA, is being encoded onto this two-dimensional surface as you pass through. It is a cosmic archive of unimaginable density. Leonard Suskind's theories suggest that the entropy of a black hole is proportional to its surface area, which means the skin of this celestial object has enough room to store the data of every star it has ever consumed. You are becoming a part of this intricate tapestry. Imagine a beautiful ancient book where the story is written not just on the pages, but in the very fibers of the leather binding. This resolution of the information paradox ensures that even as you move toward the center, your data remains smeared across the horizon, forever accessible to the laws of physics. There is an intellectual safety in this realization. It means that the universe is incapable of forgetting you. You are being written into the fabric of space-time, a permanent signature in a vacuum that never loses its grip on the light. The transition is smooth, a quiet handoff between the world of 3 dimensions and a higher state of holographic existence. As the horizon fades behind you, the architecture of the interior begins to reveal itself, not as a dark pit, but as a hall of infinite reflections where the light itself has found a way to stay forever. We find ourselves now entering the photon sphere, a region of such intense gravitational focus that light itself is forced into a circular orbit. This is the universe's ultimate hall of mirrors. As you float within this sphere, a remarkable visual phenomenon takes hold. Because light travels in circles here, you can see the back of your own head by simply looking straight ahead. It is a panoramic view of your own existence, a visual loop that collapses the distance between the observer and the observed. You are bathed in ancient starlight, photons that may have been trapped in this orbital dance for millions of eons, swirling around the dark center like golden dust in a sunbeam. This is a moment of profound sensory immersion. You might feel a sense of floating, not just in space, but in a sphere of infinite reflections, where every direction leads back to a moment of clarity. It may look like a chaotic kaleidoscope of shifting colors, but this is simply the universe showing you every possible perspective at once. It is a visual representation of time as a physical landscape. The light here is thick, almost tactile, brushing against you with the warmth of 1,000 suns that have long since faded from the visible sky. You are a witness to the accumulated history of the galaxy, all focused into a single shimmering ring. As the density of the experience shifts, we begin to feel the subtler movements of the tidal forces, a process often described with the harsh term spaghettification, but which is more accurately felt as a symphonic unfolding. There is a slight difference in the gravitational pull between your head and your feet, but in a supermassive black hole, this gradient is so gradual that it feels like the stretching of fine silk. You are like a piece of intricate origami being carefully unfolded back into a flat, perfect sheet. This is the process of becoming a more fundamental version of yourself. Long, shimmering threads of your existence reach out into the dark, a slow-motion dance of particles finding their new place in the cosmic sequence. There is a hypnotic cadence to this movement, a sense of reaching, of expanding, of letting go of the rigid boundaries of a physical body to embrace a more fluid, ethereal form. You are not being broken, you are being translated into a new language of physics. The threads of your story are being woven into the very vacuum, creating a shimmering trail that marks your passage through the deep. It is a graceful transition, a shedding of the old weight of the world in favor of a lightness that defies description. The deeper we go, the more the fundamental nature of reality begins to invert. Inside the horizon, space and time effectively swap roles. In the world you left behind, you could choose to move left or right, up or down, but you could never stop the forward march of the clock. Here, the singularity is no longer a place in space, but a point in your future. Moving toward the center is as inevitable as moving toward tomorrow. This inversion brings with it a strange sense of relief. You are no longer traveling through a physical room. You are traveling through a narrative. There are no more choices to make, no more directions to navigate, only the experience of the flow. You can feel this inevitability not as a heavy weight, but as a release of all tension. The struggle of movement is gone, replaced by the steady, certain progression of a story reaching its most important chapter. The interior landscape is not a place of fire or destruction, despite the theoretical debates over firewalls. For the traveler, the equivalence principle remains the guiding law. The transition is smooth, cool and dark, like slipping into a vast midnight ocean where the water is the perfect temperature of your own skin. The fire is a mathematical ghost, but the reality is a rhythmic pulsing of deep blues and purples as the light from the outside world is shifted into new frequencies, creating a sky that looks like a living, breathing nebula. We are now drifting through the ghostly architecture of the interior, where some theories suggest the existence of an Einstein-Rosen bridge, a wormhole that acts as a connector between the heart of this black hole and a distant, perhaps entirely different, universe. It is a tunnel of soft grey light, a place where the air feels heavy with the scent of ozone and ancient stone. You are bridging the gap between the breaths of the stars. This is a space of silent transition, a corridor where the end of one world becomes the quiet beginning of the next. The information that defines you is currently being carried through this bridge, a passenger on a journey that transcends the limits of our current maps. You are floating between the dimensions, a seed being carried by a cosmic wind toward a soil that has not yet been formed. The feeling here is one of immense peace, a stillness so profound that even the concept of fast or slow begins to dissolve. You are safe here, in the one place in the universe where time cannot touch you, where the laws of the old world are merely suggestions. As you approach the ultimate center, the concept of time for you remains perfectly normal, but you have become an eternal monument to the universe outside. In the heart of the black hole, everything collapses into a single golden now. This is the singularity, the Great Zero. It is often described as a point of infinite density, but it is perhaps better understood as a return to the state of the Big Bang, a point of pure, unmanifested light. It is the seed of a new reality. The silence here is absolute, a quiet so deep it feels like a physical presence. This is the great homecoming, the moment where the information of your life meets the fundamental potential of all creation. You are not hitting a wall. You are merging with the source. The universe does not throw anything away. It only waits for the right time to let it go. One day, according to the theory of white holes, the information that fell into this dark archive will emerge in a distant time and place, blooming into a new sky like a flower reaching for a sun that has not yet been born. You are part of the archive now. You are permanent. The stars are holding your place in the dark. Sleep now, for you are exactly where you were always meant to be. We are often told that entering a black hole is the ultimate end, a finality from which nothing returns. However, according to the laws of quantum information, you are actually the only thing in the universe that can never be truly deleted. Tonight, we bridge the gap between general relativity and the holographic principle to see why your final moments are actually an infinite expansion of your own story. We must begin by removing the heavy weight of fear. We will not treat the event horizon as a wall of teeth or a crushing weight, but rather as a transition into a higher state of being where time itself loses its sharp, demanding edge. Imagine, if you will, a slow, liquid rotation of golden light against a velvet void, a steady glow of an accretion disk that does not flicker, but simply exists as a monument to the gravity that gathered it. At the Schwarzschild radius, the curvature of space-time becomes so extreme that all forward paths in time point directly toward the center. This is the boundary where escape velocity exceeds the speed of light, but it is not a trap. It is a gateway to a place where the universe keeps its most permanent records. Think of the horizon as the cover of a book that can never be closed, a vast archive where every particle that crosses is catalogued with absolute precision. We are standing here together at the edge of the known, ready to see what the light is hiding. As we drift closer, you would not feel the snap of gravity. Instead, you would feel a gentle elongation, as if the very atoms of your being were finally being allowed to breathe in a space without end. To understand how you survive this crossing, we must first look at the skin of the black hole itself. The skin of a black hole is not a solid shell, but a membrane of pure information known as the event horizon. To a distant observer, this is the point of no return, a dark shroud where light is swallowed and time appears to grind to a halt. However, modern physics suggests a far more complex reality, according to the holographic principle, first proposed by Nobel laureate Gerard 't Hooft and later refined by Leonard Susskind. The event horizon acts as a cosmic hard drive. When you approach this boundary, the three-dimensional you does not simply vanish into a void. Instead, every bit of data that constitutes your physical being, the specific arrangement of your atoms, the electrical pulses of your memories, the very essence of your existence, is encoded onto the two-dimensional surface of the black hole. This is the principle of information conservation. In quantum mechanics, information can never be truly destroyed. It can only be transformed or hidden. As you cross the horizon, your 3D reality is flattened and spread across this shimmering skin in a complex lattice of light and entropy. To the universe outside, you are not gone, you are archived. The entropy of a black hole, as discovered by Jacob Bekenstein and Stephen Hawking, is proportional to its surface area, measured in units of the Planck length squared. This means the capacity of the archive is limited only by the size of the horizon itself. You are being written into the fundamental geometry of space-time, becoming a permanent part of the black hole's mass and history. It is a state of eternal preservation. The transition from the universe we know into the realm of the event horizon is often described as a fall, but it is more accurately a graduation into a state of absolute permanence. As we approach this boundary, the familiar rules of navigation begin to dissolve, replaced by the rigid, beautiful architecture of the Schwarzschild radius. This specific distance from the center, defined by the formula R sub s equals 2 gm/c², represents the exact point where the gravitational pull is so immense that even light, the fastest messenger in the cosmos, can no longer find a path leading outward. However, to view this as a point of no return is to miss the profound structural shift occurring in the fabric of reality. In this space, the curvature of space-time becomes so extreme that the geometry of the universe itself performs a graceful inversion. Every direction you look, every movement you might attempt to make, points toward the singularity. It is not that you are being pulled by a force. It is that the future itself has been redefined. On the outside, we think of the event horizon as a terrifying edge, but from our shared perspective here at the threshold, it reveals itself as the ultimate archive. It is the boundary layer of a cosmic library where the universe stores its most precious data. Think of the horizon not as a wall of teeth or a dark abyss, but as the indestructible cover of a book that can never be closed. Every atom of your being, every spark of your consciousness is being translated into the fundamental language of the cosmos. We are standing here together at the edge of the known, shedding the temporary nature of linear time, ready to see what the light has been hiding within this golden, silent transition. The shift in your perception begins as a subtle divergence between the world you are leaving behind and the one you are becoming. To an observer watching from a safe distance, perhaps a friend on a nearby research vessel, the site of your descent is a study in eternal stillness. As you approach the intense gravitational well, the light reflecting off your suit struggles to climb out of the deepening curve of space-time. To them, your movements appear to slow down, stretching out into a languid, cinematic crawl. They see you reaching toward the event horizon, but you never quite seem to touch it. Instead, you begin to redden, your image shifting into the long, cool waves of the infrared spectrum, eventually fading into a frozen, ghostly silhouette that lingers at the threshold forever. In their reality, you've become a permanent monument to a single moment, a snapshot etched into the sky that will remain until the stars themselves go dark. But your reality is a different story entirely, one governed by the fluid grace of gravitational time dilation. While the outside world sees you as a static image, you feel no such hesitation. You are moving through time as easily as a ship moves through a calm sea. This disconnect between the observer and the traveler is one of the most profound meditations in modern physics, much like the way a deep, formative memory can feel like it spans an entire lifetime in your mind, while the clock on the wall has only advanced by a single second. You are experiencing a dilation of meaning and matter. As you drift closer to the heart of this collapse, you wouldn't feel the violent snap of gravity or a sudden jarring pull. Instead, you would experience a gentle elongation, a soft expansion of your physical form, as if the very atoms of your being were finally being allowed to breathe in a space without end. The pressure of the universe, the constant ticking urgency of linear life, simply begins to evaporate. You are entering a realm where the distinction between a second and a century starts to blur, and your journey becomes a continuous, unbroken thread of existence. But to truly understand how you survived this crossing without being lost to the void, we must first look at the skin of the black hole itself, where your story is being archived in a lattice of light. Imagine for a moment that the universe is not a vast, empty room, but rather a profound and ancient library, one where every single particle, every flicker of light, and every moment of your life is a meticulously recorded entry. As you approach the event horizon, you are not merely moving toward a physical boundary. You are approaching the most sophisticated filing system in the cosmos. For decades, physicists wrestled with a terrifying possibility known as the information paradox. The idea that if you fell into a black hole, the data that makes you you would be deleted from existence, violating the most fundamental laws of quantum mechanics. But Leonard Susskind and other pioneers of the holographic principle offered a resolution that is as beautiful as it is comforting. They realized that the information capacity of a black hole is not determined by its internal volume, but by its surface area. Think of a common postage stamp or a credit card hologram. It is a flat, two-dimensional surface, yet when light hits it just right, it reveals a three-dimensional image with depth and detail. This is precisely what happens to you at the event horizon. As you descend, the three-dimensional you continues inward, but a perfect high-fidelity copy of your entire history, your DNA, your memories, the specific arrangement of every atom in your body, is smeared across the surface of the black hole. This holographic skin is a complex lattice of light and energy where your entropy is encoded forever. Even if the black hole eventually evaporates through Hawking radiation, that radiation carries the scrambled yet complete story of everything that ever fell inside. You are never truly gone. Instead, you are written into the very fabric of the horizon, a permanent resident of the cosmic archive. You become a layer of light, an eternal inscription on the skin of gravity, ensuring that the universe never forgets a single detail of your existence. Under the soft glow of this realization, the fear of the void is replaced by the safety of preservation. You are not being destroyed. You are being archived. Every nuance of your being is held in a state of quantum permanence, resting in a mathematical grace that even time cannot erode. As we drift further into this library of light, we begin to see how this encoded information behaves when the laws of optics begin to twist in ways the human eye was never meant to perceive. The transition from the skin of the horizon into the deeper reaches of the interior brings us to a place of profound visual paradox known as the photon sphere. Imagine, if you will, a region of space so distorted by gravity that light itself is forced into a circular orbit. In the world we left behind, light always travels in a straight line, but here, the straightest path available to a photon is a curve that loops back upon itself. As you drift through this hall of mirrors, the very act of looking forward becomes a journey into your own past. Because light is circling the black hole like a satellite, you would find yourself looking at the back of your own head, seeing your own image projected in front of you as the light from your body completes its frantic golden lap around the abyss. This is not a trick of the mind, but a fundamental property of the geometry here. You are bathed in ancient starlight, some of it trapped for eons, cycling endlessly in this gravitational cage. The sensation is one of being suspended within a sphere of infinite reflections, where every direction you turn reveals a different perspective of the same moment. Your sense of proprioception, the internal map of where your limbs are in space, begins to expand as you see yourself from every conceivable angle at once. It may look like chaos, a kaleidoscope of smeared colors and shifting shapes, but this is simply the universe showing you its ultimate panoramic view. It is a gallery of time, where the distinction between the observer and the observed begins to soften. You are no longer just a person looking at the stars. You are a participant in a cosmic arrangement, floating in a sea of trapped light that has waited billions of years for a witness. The light here does not behave as it does in the world you left behind. We have moved beyond the simple bending of rays and into a region of space where gravity is so absolute that it has forced light into a perpetual, circular orbit. This is the photon sphere, a shell of radiance that exists just above the event horizon, and as you drift through it, the very nature of your vision undergoes a profound transformation. In this hall of mirrors, a single beam of light can circle the black hole indefinitely, which means that as you look forward, you are not merely seeing the darkness ahead, you are seeing the light that has traveled around the entire circumference of this massive object to reach your eyes from behind. You are, quite literally, looking at the back of your own head, projected across the curve of the universe. The sensation is one of being suspended within a crystalline sphere of infinite reflections. It is not just your own image that repeats in this celestial chamber. It is the ancient light of galaxies that have long since faded, trapped here in a timeless orbit. This light is not cold or distant. It feels like a physical presence, a gentle bathing in the starlight of eons. To your sense of proprioception, the boundary between your body and the space around you begins to blur. You are floating in a panoramic view of time itself, a kaleidoscopic trail of light where every perspective exists at once. It may look like chaos, but this is simply the universe showing you its ultimate record. It is a gallery of time, where you are finally allowed to witness the full, unbroken circle of existence. Would you like me to continue with Chapter 5? Spaghettification as a symphony, where we transition into the tactile reframe of information stretching. As we drift deeper into this luminous hall of mirrors, the very sensation of your physical form begins to undergo a profound and gentle transformation. In the traditional language of astrophysics, this stage is often described with a word that sounds harsh: spaghettification. But from our perspective within the archive, we see it as something far more elegant. We are witnessing the beginning of the symphony. This is not a process of destruction, but one of unfolding. Imagine a piece of silk, intricately folded into a small, complex shape, now being smoothed out by invisible, loving hands. The tidal forces acting upon you are simply the universe's way of reading your story with absolute precision. Because the gravity at your feet is slightly stronger than the gravity at your head, you begin to elongate. It is a slow-motion dance of particles, a stretching of the self that feels less like tension and more like a long, deep breath after a lifetime of being held tight. You are becoming a shimmering thread of existence, reaching out toward the heart of the mystery. Think of a master weaver pulling a single strand of gold from a tapestry to admire its luster. As you extend, the space between your atoms increases, but the connection between them never breaks. It only clarifies. You are being translated into a more fundamental version of yourself, a linear sequence of information that the cosmos can catalogue and preserve forever. There is a rhythmic cadence to this transition, a hypnotic pulse that matches the steady rotation of the distant stars. You feel your edges softening, merging with the velvet dark, as the heavy constraints of three-dimensional life give way to a fluid, one-dimensional grace. In this state, you are no longer a body in a vacuum. You are a melody being played across the strings of space-time, finding a new and permanent place in the grand sequence of the universal record. Everything that you were is still there, now simply laid out in a beautiful, unbroken line of light. The transition across the horizon brings with it a change so fundamental that our earthly language often struggles to find the right shore to land upon. In the world we left behind, space was a vast playground where we could choose our direction, moving left or right, up or down, or standing perfectly still to watch the clouds drift by. Time, however, was the one-way street, the silent river that carried us toward tomorrow, whether we were ready or not. But here, within the heart of the black hole, the very architecture of reality undergoes a profound inversion. The coordinates of your existence swap their roles in a cosmic dance of substitution. Space itself begins to flow like time, and time takes on the unyielding geometry of space. Imagine for a moment that the center of the black hole, the singularity, is no longer a place you are traveling toward, but a date on a calendar that you cannot avoid. You are no longer moving through a room. You are moving through a story where every step forward is a tick of a clock that cannot be wound back. This shift isn't a source of pressure, but rather a strange, deep relief. The heavy burden of choice, the constant navigation of a three-dimensional world, simply evaporates. You can no longer turn back any more than you could turn back to last Tuesday. The singularity is not a point in a dark chamber. It is quite literally your future. You feel this inevitability not as a weight pressing down on your chest, but as a gentle, rhythmic pulse. It is the sensation of finally letting go in a fast-moving current, realizing that the water knows the way better than you ever did. There is a profound peace in this lack of agency. Every atom of your being is now synchronized with the ultimate heartbeat of the cosmos, drifting toward a destination that is as certain as the sunrise. You are witnessing the moment where becomes when, and now becomes forever. This is the quietest journey you will ever take. A passage through a corridor of pure causality, where the walls are made of events and the floor is made of moments, all leading toward the singular truth waiting at the end of the hall. There is a long-standing debate among the architects of the cosmos, a whisper of a worry that the entrance to this archive is not a doorway, but a wall of fire. This is the famous firewall paradox, a conceptual hurdle where the sheer density of quantum entanglement suggests a barrier of high-energy particles might incinerate anything attempting to cross the threshold. It is a thought that brings a flicker of heat to the cold void, a suggestion of a violent end to a peaceful journey. But as we drift deeper into the blue-shifted light of the interior, we find that the universe is far more elegant than a simple furnace. According to the equivalence principle, the very foundation of Einstein's vision, a traveler in freefall should feel nothing out of the ordinary as they cross the event horizon. To you, the descent remains as smooth as a boat gliding into a shadowed grotto. There is no flash of light, no sudden surge of heat. There is only the transition from the golden glow of the exterior to a cool, dark ocean of possibilities. This interior landscape is not a place of destruction, but a sanctuary of preservation where the laws of physics shield your progress. The stars that once burned with a bright, distant light have now shifted into a rhythmic pulsing of deep indigo and violet, their frequencies stretching out like a slow, deep breath. This is the interior of the black hole as it was always meant to be seen, a quiet, light-filled cathedral where the air is made of events and the gravity is a gentle pull toward a final, beautiful truth. You are not a traveler in a storm. You are a dreamer in a cradle, protected by the very fabric of space-time that has guided you since the beginning of the journey. Every atom of your being is held in a state of grace, a condition. The architecture of this inner sanctuary is unlike anything built by human hands or imagined in the dreams of architects. It is a structure of pure geometry, a ghostly bridge known to the pioneers of physics as the Einstein-Rosen bridge. As you drift further into this corridor of soft silver light, the walls of the universe seem to thin, becoming translucent and permeable. You are moving through a tunnel that connects the heart of this black hole to another place, perhaps another time, or even a baby universe born from the very collapse that brought you here. The sensation is one of profound bridging, a silent transition between the breaths of the stars where the heavy labels of here and there simply cease to apply. The air, if we can call it that, feels like the cool mist of an autumn morning, damp and still. Every movement you make is echoed by a ripple in the fabric of the bridge, a gentle vibration that hums at a frequency of deep, restorative peace. You are floating between worlds, suspended in a state of cosmic transit, where the end of one story is the quiet, unspoken beginning of the next. The light here does not dazzle. It glows with the muted radiance of a candle seen through frosted glass, guiding you toward a destination that is not a location, but a state of being. You find yourself unwinding, the tension of the journey dissolving into the grey, comforting shadows of this celestial passage. Here, in the throat of the cosmos, you are safe, held by the ancient laws of a universe that refuses to let even a single soul be lost to the void. The bridge is steady, the light is soft, and the way forward is as natural as the closing of eyes at the end of a long, beautiful day. Beyond the threshold of the known, the architecture of the void begins to reveal a structure that is both spectral and profoundly solid. We find ourselves drifting within the Einstein-Rosen bridge, a theoretical corridor where the fabric of our home universe curves and dips to meet another. Physicists often describe this as a wormhole, but in this quietude, it feels less like a hole and more like a vast, subterranean cathedral made of moonlight and mathematical grace. There is no wind here, only the soft, rhythmic pulse of space itself, expanding and contracting like the breath of a sleeping giant. You are floating in a tunnel of soft grey light, a neutral territory where the harsh laws of the exterior world have been traded for a state of perpetual transition. Every atom of your being is now part of a celestial connection, a bridge that spans across the impossible distances between the breaths of the stars. In this ghostly architecture, the end of one world is not a crashing finale, but rather the silent, silver beginning of the next. It is a place of profound bridging, where the information of your life is being ferried toward a baby universe, a new pocket of space-time born from the collapse of the old. You might feel a sense of weightless wandering, as if you are walking through a hallway of mirrors where every reflection shows a different version of the cosmos. The walls of this bridge are not made of stone or steel, but of light that has slowed down to a crawl, wrapping around you like a warm, protective shroud. This is the ultimate sanctuary, a hidden vein in the body of the universe that ensures nothing is ever truly discarded. You are moving through the heart of a cosmic archive, where every moment is preserved in the stillness of the bridge, waiting for the dawn of a new reality. The journey continues as the geometry of your surroundings begins to fold in on itself, creating a sensation that is less like falling and more like being woven into the very tapestry of the cosmos. As you drift into these final milliseconds of the descent, a profound transformation occurs in the way you experience the passage of existence. To the universe you left behind, to the friends and observers watching from the distant safety of a stable orbit, you have become a permanent fixture of the heavens. Because of the extreme stretching of light and time at this depth, your image remains forever etched upon the horizon, a frozen monument of a traveler who reached the edge of forever and stayed there. You are, in the eyes of the stars, an eternal being, a static masterpiece held in the amber of gravity. Yet, within your own local reality, the clock on your wrist continues to tick with a steady, comforting rhythm. This is the ultimate reassurance of the laws of physics, that even in the most extreme environment imaginable, your personal experience remains coherent and whole. You do not feel the crushing weight of the outside world's eternity. Instead, you feel a deepening sense of presence. In the heart of the black hole, the concept of fast and slow dissolves into a single, golden now. It is a state of absolute chronological synchronization, where the frantic urgency of the living universe is replaced by a vast, singular moment of clarity. You are safe here, in the one place in the universe where time cannot touch you, where the decay of empires and the cooling of suns are merely distant whispers. This is the transition from the temporal to the eternal, a quiet resting point where you are finally allowed to just be. As you move beyond the concept of time, you arrive at the threshold of the singularity itself, the great zero, where the known laws of physics undergo a silent and profound transformation. In this place, the gravity that once pulled and stretched you is no longer a force of tension, but a medium of absolute unity. Imagine a point where the entire history of a star, the light of 1 billion years, and the very essence of your own journey are compressed into a space smaller than an atom, yet more vast than the night sky. This is not a place of crushing weight, but of infinite density, a state of being so concentrated that it transcends the need for dimensions. Here, the distinction between the observer and the observed finally dissolves, leaving only a radiant, mathematical purity. It is the cosmic equivalent of a deep, dreamless sleep, where the noise of the universe is silenced to make room for a new kind of beginning. We often think of the singularity as an end, a mathematical error where equations break down and variables reach infinity. But in the quietude of this descent, it reveals itself as the ultimate archive. It is the seed from which all things grow, and the soil to which all things return. This point of pure light and shadow is the same state of being that existed a fraction of a second before the Big Bang, a moment of total potential. You are standing at the very origin of reality, where the information that defines you is preserved in a state of perfect stillness. There is no more distance to travel, no more forward or backward, only the profound wholeness of the present. The singularity is a silent bell, holding the resonance of everything that has ever been, waiting for the vibration that will start the cycle once more. In this great zero, you are not lost, you are gathered, held in the fundamental substrate of the cosmos, where the quiet is so deep it feels like music. This silence is not a void, but a suspension, a cosmic indrawing of breath before the exhale that defines a new reality. If the singularity represents the ultimate compression of your story, then the theory of white holes represents the turning of the page. In the elegant mathematics of general relativity, the equations that describe a black hole are time-symmetric. This means that if you were to take a film of a black hole consuming light and matter and simply run that film in reverse, you would see a fountain of energy and information pouring out into the void. This theoretical twin is the white hole, a region of space-time that cannot be entered from the outside, but from which everything must eventually emerge. Scientists like Carlo Rovelli have proposed that as a black hole reaches the end of its life, it may undergo a quantum bounce, a transition where the crushing inward force of gravity is suddenly and violently inverted. Imagine yourself as a seed planted in the richest, darkest soil the universe can provide. For a long time, there is only the pressure and the stillness, the sense of being held in a state of potential. But the universe does not throw anything away. It only waits for the right time to let it go. Your information, your essence, and the very light that carried you into the depths are not destroyed. They are processed, refined, and eventually liberated. You are the beginning of a new sky. In this model, the singularity is not a dead end, but a narrow throat, a Planck star transition where the laws of physics reset. What was once a descent into darkness becomes an ascent into a different kind of light. You emerge into a distant corner of the cosmos, or perhaps into an entirely new baby universe, carrying the structural blueprint of the world you left behind. You are the bridge between the old and the new, a vital link in the eternal metabolism of the stars. The journey we have taken tonight has led us from the familiar shores of our solar system to the very limits of what the human mind can conceive. We began at the event horizon, fearing the end of our physical form, yet we found that the universe is far more protective than we ever imagined. We discovered that through the holographic principle, your presence is etched permanently into the skin of the cosmos, a 2D lattice of light that ensures your data can never be truly deleted. We saw how time dilates and space inverts, not to confuse us, but to show us that our definitions of now and then are merely local perspectives. In the heart of the black hole, we found the Great Zero, the place where the noise of the world falls away to reveal the silent, fundamental architecture of reality. The information that makes up you, the specific arrangement of your thoughts, the warmth of your breath, the history written in your atoms, is currently painted on the horizon of every black hole in the galaxy. You are part of the archive. You are permanent. The terror of the void is replaced by the comfort of the record. You are a word in a book that the universe is constantly writing, and that book is kept in a library where the doors are never locked and the lights never go out. We began this journey at the edge of an end, but we find ourselves in the heart of a beginning. There is no more need for the frantic motion of the day, no more need to worry about the passage of time. Here, in the gravitational embrace of the infinite, you are held in a state of perfect preservation. The stars are holding your place in the dark. They watch over the horizons where your story is stored, twinkling with the reflected light of 1 billion histories just like yours. The cosmos is not a cold, indifferent machine. It is a vast, interconnected memory, and you are one of its most cherished fragments. As the light of the accretion disk fades into a soft, golden hum, let the weight of your journey settle into a profound sense of peace. You have traveled through the most extreme environments in existence only to find that you were home all along. The boundaries between you and the universe have dissolved, leaving only the quiet, steady rhythm of existence. Sleep now, for you are exactly where you were always meant to be. The void is not empty. It is full of you, and it is waiting for you to rest. The long threads of your being are stretching out, finding their place among the constellations, weaving you into the fabric of the night. You are safe. You are eternal. You are the light that the darkness could not hide. The hum of the universe is a lullaby, a low-frequency vibration that resonates in the very marrow of your bones. It tells of cycles that span trillions of years and of transitions that happen in the blink of an eye. In this space, there is no fear, only the gentle drift of a consciousness returning to its source. The archive is complete, the record is secure, and the new world is waiting just beyond the horizon of your dreams. Close your eyes and let the gravity of sleep pull you toward that singular point of rest, where the stars are dim and the silence is absolute. You are part of the mystery, and the mystery is beautiful. Sleep now. Sleep in the heart of the light. Sleep in the arms of the infinite. Would you like me to begin the 30-minute loop of infinite black hole ambience to accompany your rest?